10,000 fearless on the move.
Let's go. Deep in the delta where the willows grow, in the soil stained by the blood of my ancestors. Punch bowl voices call out to my soul for justice. The wicked will reap what they've sown. Spirit of Aziz is back on the rise. Soldiers in the delta kept it alive. Time to stand up, take our place in the sun. Understand the time and what must be done.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. This is it. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields await the wide awake man. Elijah's got the master.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless.
Did you say Mississippi?
Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move.
Once again, what they moving at?
Mississippi. Sip. Injustice we've had enough. All of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See, the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now, Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless.
We got more than Mississippi.
Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move.
Are you listening?
Mississippi. Sip. 10K fearless on the move. 10K fearless on the move. 10K fearless on the move. In Mississippi. Mississippi. 10,000 fearless on the move.
Yes, indeed. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be unto you, and welcome to another edition, y'all, of the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. I am your brother, friend, and host, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad, and please allow me to begin properly in the name of Almighty God, Allah as we know Him, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. We bear witness to the oneness of God, to the oneness of His prophets, and to the oneness of the scriptures that were revealed through them to the whole of humanity. Please allow us to greet you once again with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Semitic language of our foreparents of Arabic, of Assalamu alaikum, or it simply means may peace be unto you. Brothers and sisters, welcome back once again to the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. We certainly thank you for tuning in, and tonight we have a special program. My heart and mind is a little heavy, brothers and sisters, because it seems like this is our subject matter tonight it's not really a ghost of the past. It is a reality of the now, you know, and talking with my brother, who is our special guest, Brother John C. Burnett. We planned this a couple of weeks ago, and brother's going to come on and give us some updates. He's rolling throughout Mississippi and other parts of the country, the Carolinas, and into the Delta. The brother is on the move. He was part of the investigative team that helped with the incident that happened in Rankin County with the goon squad terrorizing and torturing those brothers were those officers. First time in the history of the state of Mississippi that police were held accountable for essentially being a lynch mob disguised as police officers. And here we are again, unfortunately, brothers and sisters, once again, an incident where a young college student was found hanged in Cleveland, Mississippi, on the campus of Delta State University. And that's one of many, many, many unsolved deaths, either by hanging, or police shooting, and many other means by which our people are losing their lives. Just reading something earlier where in Texas, there's a rash of murders happening in the same area, and they think it's a serial killer. Even recent as threats to HBCUs in the wake of the going-ons across the country. It's a very, very hostile environment, which it has always been for Black life in America. The temperature has just turned up in recent weeks, days, and months. So let me get to it, brothers and sisters. Of course, I like to start with our axioms, guiding principles that undergird each program conversation we have on the 10K Fearless Tri-State program. And we want to invite you, those that are tuning in via web page or via the app, please feel free to type your comments and come on in and share your thoughts on tonight's subject matter. And hold on, somebody, who's this? Okay. Well, praise be to Allah. Okay, good. We got some, I'm multitasking here. I got a couple of things going on. We're, of course, going to hear from our brother, William Muhammad. He's going to give us the farm report. But before we go there, let me get to the axioms for tonight from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, which is one that I always want to give. And it is the one where he says, quote, "He who gives you the diameter of your knowledge prescribes for you the circumference of your activity," end quote. Very, very important principle, brother and sister. And, you know, we've always had the thought police present among us. And then now they've assigned some of our brothers and sisters who help them keep our thinking or the diameter of our knowledge within the confines of their worldview and narratives, which is quite unhealthy, and it's proven to been to our detriment. Second one I like to give to us, brothers and sisters, is a slave, where the Honorable Louis Farrakhan gave the definition, quote, "A slave is one whose power and authority is ruled over by another and whose sphere of freedom is limited according to the wishes of his master," end quote. And lastly, I want to give to you this one from the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, which is very, very important in this hour in particular, brothers and sisters. We need to be mindful and careful how we view the demise of people or the consequences that people suffer as a result of their own choices, behavior, even in instances where they have earned what's happening. Of course, the scriptures teach Allah or God takes no pleasure even in the destruction of the wicked when he has to destroy them. It's not a pleasurable thing for God to have to do. Otherwise, why would he send a prophet to even warn them? If that's what he liked doing, no. God's desire and hope is that we would heed the warning, heed the guidance, and turn from our ways that would lead us to an unfortunate and, untimely end, or put us in situations in life that we find life far, far more difficult than it should be. So, brothers and sisters, the last one I want to give to you before we go to a commercial break is when the minister said to us, quote, "When you see men fall, don't laugh, learn. Learn because you're on your way up. And the things that tempt people to fall, you and I are not free from that temptation, nor from the weakness that will cause us to stumble and fall. When you laugh at somebody else's fall, white or black, rich or poor, your enemy or your friend, you're laughing and opening a way for your own demise when you do that. Because to laugh and not learn, to make a mockery and not to understand is to make the same mistake yourself," end quote. So we should really, really think about those axioms or guiding principles from our dear minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, brothers and sisters. And it's really, really, really something that we should consider, okay? So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we're going to be right back after these commercial announcements.
Not to stand up and fight your natural enemy. And the only people on this earth, Brother Walter, the only people on this earth that use their religion and their so-called belief in God as an excuse not to stand up and confront their enemy is my people. Negroes are the only people I know that use it.
Ghost. I ain't dead. It's a pleasure to give my life just to live forever. He who weaponizes the blood of martyrs said, get your children ready for the slaughter. Blame the patriarchy, thank your fathers. But every racist devil had a racist mama. When strange fruit meets forbidden fruit, your hands up today, don't shoot. So say my name. Really can't afford this price of fame. Who knew the guy had a boomerang and he called it karma? She ain't never shied away from no drama. From 1555 to 1955, we watched it intensify. Some still believe the lies, cause niggas too scared to believe they eyes. My fear died in the Tallahatchie. Rose from the dead, can't catch me. Patron saint of the get back. Gave birth to the hit back.
Shake's Famous Seasonings. Flavors for every occasion. Want to add a touch of authentic flavor to any dish? Searching for a unique range of seasonings that always put great taste on the menu? Welcome to Shake's Famous Seasonings. Whether you're a professional chef, passionate home cook, or a complete beginner in the kitchen, taste and flavor should always be on the menu. It's why Master Chef Rashid Muhammad has combined more than 30 years in the kitchen with a passion for mouth-watering flavors to create a range of seasonings unlike any other. Always gluten-free, so you can enjoy great taste exactly how nature intended. Versatile flavors that work with fresh fish, chicken, or vegetables from the very first bite. Authentic cooking experience that adds something special to any occasion. Versatile seasonings that are perfect for baking, frying, grilling, and plenty of tasting. Ready for real authentic flavor? When it's time to see just how delicious seasoned foods can be, why wait? With the click of a button, you can have 30 years of passion for food sent direct to your door. Just what you need to add flavors to every occasion and create meals that you'll always want to eat twice.
Place your order at sfseasonings.com. That's sfseasonings.com.
Taste the difference. Taste supreme. Enjoy our 100% natural Supreme Spring Water with natural calcium and magnesium, but zero fluoride and zero chloride. Our bottles are BPA free. Order yours today. Call us at 800-573-8033. That's 800-573-8033. Or visit us online at www.supremespringwater.com. Live supreme. Be supreme. Drink supreme. Supreme Spring Water. 801 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
What's your source for truth in news reports?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
No shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. Theurbanindulgence.com.
10,000 fearless on the move.
Okay, now, y'all, we're back live at the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. Once again, I am your brother, your friend, your host, Abdul Shaheed Muhammad, and you probably can hear in my voice, man, this is just, if we're keeping up with what's going on in the news, brothers and sisters, you probably feel the same way that I do. But right now, we're going to bring our brother on, Brother William Muhammad, to give us our farm report. He should be there, Brother William.
Yes, sir.
All right, salam alaikum. What we got going on in the ground, man? What you growing?
Okay, we still got some green beans and okra that they're still producing. I'm supposed to the farm, hopefully in the morning to pick some green beans and okra. We do have some butternut squash that's on the ground. They're still kind of young.
Yes, sir.
Some tomatoes. Yes, sir. We got tomatoes. They haven't started producing yet. We saw them kind of late to see, how far could we take them. And the turnips are coming up. They're looking pretty good. We got cabbage, rutabaga, beet, and we're just waiting to see, if Allah going to bless us to have a successful season this year.
Yes, sir.
So hopefully everything will come out right. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Praises be to Allah. Brothers and sisters, it is important now because we better grow some food because the way things are going in America right now, I don't know whether or not we're paying close enough attention. Food prices, you think they're high now? Just keep living a few more days, brothers and sisters. We're going to wish that we had started some kind of a garden. I don't care if it's 1 foot by 1 foot. Grow something. If you got some space and where to put some dirt somewhere, grow you something. There's nothing but tomatoes and cucumbers or something. And Brother William, we appreciate it. That's on our national side. What else do we got, brother, in the state?
Well, that was on the state side.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, I forgot. Yes, sir, I forgot about the broccoli. Got some broccoli planted. Hopefully they'll come up, and we got some cucumbers coming along as well.
Yes, sir.
I saw some of those out there. They were kind of young. We just hoping, praying that we have a good, successful fall season.
Yes, sir.
You was talking about the prices. Yes, sir. You were talking about the prices. The produce in the stores, also the quality of the produce in the stores is not good as well. We know that they use the herbal pesticides.
Uh-huh.
And I've even read reports where they are actually putting the vaccine, the COVID vaccine, inside of some of the vegetables as well as the meats and the.
Lord have mercy. Well, brother, they gonna get it to us one way or the other, huh? Well, brother, look, man, what we got with the staple goods, I know we are awaiting the arrival of what we've ordered off of our farms, the Nation of Islam farms. And for our audience, look, now, we do this once or twice a year where you can order directly with your local mosque or study group. You can get food grown the right way, and you don't have to worry about what's in it. Let our audience know about that, Brother William.
Yes, sir. Right now, we're in the process of I sent out the funds for Holly Springs. And then once enough funds are collected, then the money will be sent to actually pay for and transfer the goods that are not, whatever's not growing out there, on Muhammad farms. They're transferred there, actually loaded onto the pallets and send it out to the designated cities. Dr. Ridgely just recently in a conference call this past Tuesday night, he asked if there were any believers that wanted to come out and help package, the staple goods and put them on the pallet. He said if anybody is interested in coming out, then please feel free to do so. He's always looking for help out there in the farm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Praises be to Allah. Brother, thank you so much, Brother William. As usual, brother, we always appreciate you coming on this broadcast, brother, and keeping us updated with regard to the availability of food, good, wholesome food, food that's not grown with chemicals that we can trust from a very, very reliable source. So, brother, God willing, in our next broadcast, we'll have you back to give us further information and another update. All right, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, my brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Yes, Islam, sir.
That was our brother William Muhammad. He is our student in the Ministry of Agriculture for the Holly Springs, Mississippi study group. And we certainly thank my brother. So moving right along, we're finna get to the meat of the program with our special guest, who is, I see him on the dashboard, and I'm really thankful that this brother accepted our humble invitation to come on to be with us this evening. Tonight, we are discussing, of course, our subject that we're dealing with is Mississippi hangings. And the subtitle I put is Strange Fruit Still Grows in America. Question is, when will we stop it? How much longer are we going to endure this, family? When are we going to come to the realization that we're going to have to take some different approaches? Because for 470 years now, we didn't get here in 1619. They started bringing us here in 1555. Go check your history. It's been 470 years we've been trying to get along in peace in America, and we have not been able to do it. So I want to bring on to the program our brother, John C. Burnett, and I'll allow him to, he's a national activist. This brother is all over the country, and I'm going to allow him to reacquaint you with who he is because he's been on here before. So please welcome to our program, Brother John C. You there, Brother Burnett? Uh-oh, I got to unmute him. Okay. He's unmuted, and he was. Unmute yourself there, Brother John. I see you on the dashboard. Okay. Still see you, brother, but I don't hear you. Unmuted. Having little technical difficulties, brothers and sisters. Please be patient. Let's see if we can get my brother unmuted. I'm unmuting you on my end, but it's not coming through. I clearly see that you are on with us, my brother. So let's see what we can do here. And in the meantime, and in between time, hold on just a minute. Okay. Still trying. This is unusual. Hold on. Okay. Brother John, I see a bishop on too. Is that? Okay, here he is.
Okay, peace and blessings. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now, my brother. Peace and blessings to you, sir.
Okay, I had to activate the ability to talk. How you doing, my brother? Peace
Brother,
and blessings.
I'm blacktastic, man. Thank you. Let's give him another round of applause for, sometimes technology, brother, it can trick you a little bit. But, hey, we're underway. Brother John, man, how have you been, brother? And I'll just reacquaint our audience with who you are. I didn't want to do it for you. You're better able to tell them than I. So if you would please, if you so care to do it, please do so.
Absolutely, I sure will. My name is Brother John C. Barnett. I reside here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and grew up in South Carolina, right on the border, city called Lake Wiley, South Carolina. And like all of our brothers across the country, grew up and watched a lot of my friends end up in prison in South Carolina, South Carolina Department of Correction. That sparked me to create a prison outreach for my brothers. I had 11 friends and cousins in jail in around the time of the 90s. So I started prison outreach, and I actually humorously called the organization THUG, which is an acronym which stands for True Healing Under God. It was inspired, actually, believe it or not, by the Million Man March. And as we embark on the 30-year anniversary next month, October 16, I've been asked the pleasure to facilitate and host the 30-year anniversary of the Million Man March by my brother Rockman. Rockman is my godfather.
Yes,
he's also the father of Grammy-nominated singer Sunshine Anderson.
Yes, sir.
And so he called me last night and wants me to work on that for him. So I'm looking forward to it. But at the Million Man March, 61 speakers there that day. I tell people all the time, Stevie Wonder was there. He said he couldn't see us, but he could feel our spirit.
Yes.
I never forget that. But right before I went to the Million Man March, a year before, my brother was shot in the back over a pair of tennis shoes by my cousin.
Wow.
I started writing my brother's killer in prison after the minister said, go home and write one brother in prison.
Wow.
So I came home, started writing my brother's killer in prison, forgave him. He was 16. My brother was 26. It was an argument, believe it or not, over a pair of tennis shoes.
Yeah.
And I later started writing more inmates. And then that outreach grew to like hundreds of inmates across the country.
Yes, sir.
And so in saying that, I started Thug. And then in 2001, I wrote Reverend Sharpton in jail. He wrote me back. And I started working with the National Action Network in 2002 to 2008. And then I took it upon myself to just go full-time in civil rights.
Yes, sir. Uh-oh. You went away, brother.
Okay.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. You there?
Yes, sir. Here we are.
Okay. Started strengthening my organization by connecting with lawyers across the country. So presently to date, fast forwarding, we've been blessed to have over 4,000 or 5,000, I've lost count, members in 17 states.
Good.
We've gotten 26 cops fired. 6 last year was the Goon Squad in Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
And we've been blessed to get 33 people out of jail falsely accused.
Yes, sir. Man, great work. Excellent work, man. I applaud it. It's brothers like you and organizations like yours, brothers, that stand in the gaps for our people. And, of course, as a student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam, we do our part, brother. We have a prison reform ministry, and we're out in the streets informing our people and awakening them to our destiny and to who and really what we are and what we should be doing in the time that we are now living in. Brother, I want to dovetail into this conversation about starting with the catalyst for the conversation really is what's happening or what has happened and the aftermath of the death of our brother Trey Reed on the campus of Delta State University. As you know, man, or you may or may not know, and for the audience, Delta State University, it's a state university. It's a 4-year public institution. They got over 2,700 students, or nearly 2,700 students. And it was on the 15th of this month at about 7 a.m., according to what was reported in the news, that the university police were notified that a body was found near their pickleball courts right on campus. And it was identified as Trey Reed. Trey is short for his first name, and I'll use Trey. It endears, and it's more endearing because he is somebody or was someone important and should be important to all of us. But it was his body that was found. He was hanged. That was on the 15th. And within 2 days, on the 17th, University President Dr. Daniel Ennis, and of course, the Delta State University Chief of Police, Mr. Michael Peeler, they held a press conference, and they said a whole lot of stuff, But the number one, the glaring thing, which has been the modus operandi of particularly Mississippi and your Alabamas, is they already concluded their investigation. He hanged himself. What say ye, brother, and what can you give, or what can you add in terms of, because I know you're active down there in that area in Mississippi, and you got a rally coming up. Share with us, brother, anything that you've unearthed that we can help us get a clearer picture of what happened.
As of right now, I call him my big brother, Brother Crump. I'm blessed to be, not only know him, work with him with the Shankrella Robinson case here in Charlotte. So I've been blessed to start a great relationship with him. And I told him, I'm sure in the future I'll be sending you some clients.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that he has accepted the case. So as of right now, the 3 kind of topics or bullet points that our brother is doing, Brother Ben, is that he's doing a second autopsy. Because of course we've heard rumors that his legs was broken. And of course, someone can't hang themselves if their legs is broken. So I don't know. I really wait for coroner's reports to come out. And I'm also really highly anticipating Attorney Crump's second autopsy, to determine exactly what happened to this brother. The blessing behind the autopsy is that Colin Kaepernick, when he received his settlement from the NFL,
right,
he started something that's very, very neat. I had another sister in Charlotte that utilized his services, but he started free autopsies
Yes.
for police involved cases and for, I guess you would say, mystery deaths.
Right.
I would use the word mystery deaths.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's actually had jumped on board to do the free autopsy for us. I think
Yes.
he's in the Midwest somewhere.
Right. I
So
heard
it's
that. I saw that news story on
Yeah.
News One.
Yeah.
That he's
That's
going
correct.
to take up the expenses for the independent autopsy, and I applaud
That's
that, man. And more of our prominent brothers and sisters. Some of them are. They're not the only ones. There are several that are behind the scenes doing things, and not necessarily seeking any attention, and they are helping. But that is good to hear. Anything? I'm sorry, brother. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I had to get that in. But go ahead, sir.
Yeah, and now also, you good. This Saturday, Brother Trey Reed will be put to rest, and his funeral will be in Grenada this Saturday, and that service starts at 3 p.m.
Yes, sir.
And so I will be in Meridian. Ironically enough, I have a justice rally in Meridian. It's titled, the theme is Never Again.
Oh, man, we lost you again, my brother.
We're going to make sure we encourage a lot of people to show up and just stand up in Mississippi. All of what I'm doing is just kind of inspiring and giving hope to the hopeless, rather, but also letting them know that they have resources that can allow them to fight. We were successful in getting the Goon Squad, 6 deputies who tortured 2 black men. They're in prison right now in Oklahoma eating cold grits. And so in saying that, shout out to my brother, Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, who worked on that case.
Yes,
but
sir.
as we gained success with that case, we found ourselves, and me in particular, going right back to Mississippi. I've probably been to Mississippi about 15 times, and I'm in North Carolina.
Wow.
But I don't mind doing it because I know our people in Mississippi need help. And I think you told me last week, Brother Abdul, that the minister said something about Mississippi.
Yes.
He has a heart for love for Mississippi. What was that comment you made?
And the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said to us, of all of the 50 states in the United States, he loves Mississippi the most. And I've been really reflecting on since I took up the assignment of the Holly Springs study group there in North Mississippi, trying to really, really wrap my head around his words. And I've been there 6 years now, Brother John, and I'm beginning to get a clearer picture as to why the Honorable Louis Farrakhan feels that way about Mississippi. Mississippi is special, man, and it's got more black people per capita than anywhere in the country,
That's right.
And but that's what he said about Mississippi. He said some other things, but that's the one thing that I've been really, really, really studying. And because the minister doesn't say anything in a vacuum. You know that, right? He doesn't, he's when he says something like that, it's far deeper than what it appears to be on the surface.
That's correct.
Yes.
That's correct.
So
I definitely have found the love there as well for our people. People said, well, you're going back to Mississippi, and they try to kick out those fear factors, but I've had no problems and I actually enjoy going to Mississippi. I'm excited about being there this weekend. I'm also helping Emmett Till's cousin, Miss Priscilla Till.
Yes.
William Till, she's actually running for Senate.
Okay.
And we're excited about that. I'm actually labeled as her national campaign manager. So I'm going to be endorsing her, and I actually opened up the doors for her to speak in Meridian and all the other rallies we have going on in Mississippi. Next month we'll be in Leland.
Okay, brother. I wish I could make it down there for this weekend, but I won't be able to. I know you asked me, could I? But in the future, yes, sir.
But we definitely gonna have more rallies, so I'll let you know about Leland and some of the other cities. And I'll be honest with you, every time we go, we find ourselves going right back. So I'm sure we're gonna be hosting a lot of rallies, and I'm gonna bring you on board to be one of the speakers.
Oh, okay, yes, sir, yes, sir. But brother, in my research on which I'm always as a student of the minister, man, you have to stay well read, and that's just one of the things that we do in the Nation of Islam. It really is what all people of faith particularly should do. It should be part of the human daily regimen is reading. But I ran across something, brother, from a gentleman by the name of Professor Clarence Carson from Alabama. He said this, and historically he said this about the South. and it was something that he wrote, and it was entitled "Lynched on General Principle." And he is quoted as saying these words, quote, "This conviction that the black man must now and then be intimidated in order to keep him from forgetting the bounds which Southern traditions have set for him is firmly rooted in the consciousness of many Southern people. So unquestioned is this philosophy that at times lynchings are planned and carried through, not under the fierce compulsion of mob hysteria, but by men who have calmly resigned themselves to the performance of a painful duty which, according to their lights, is necessary for the good of society," end quote. Now, that's according to him. And he's a Caucasian, and he said that in the South in particular, the Southern tradition is just on GP, as we would say. General principle, GP. Every now and then they just find a brother to hang just to keep what they call the order and calm.
Mm-hmm.
Now, wow. in light of that quote, and look, now this is in 2025. He died in like 1935. He lived from the early 1900s, not from the late 1800s. He died in 1935. This professor. Now here it is, 2025. What you think about that, brother, in light of what's happening now and happening all around the country, really?
I would say that he's dead on, and for him coming from a Caucasian standpoint, it's even more sickening and disturbing.
Yes, sir.
And so I would say that nothing's really changed in America. I used to tell people all the time, Abraham Lincoln's friends wasn't jumping up and down when he so-called allegedly freed the slaves.
That's
Somebody
right.
behind closed doors was upset, mad, angry, and full of hate.
Yes, sir.
And so I think that hate, of course, America is built on murders and killings, and from the Indians to the blacks. I think that it's never been uprooted and destroyed. That hate still exists. It's almost, my mother told me this, it's worse now than it was in the 60s. She said, at least we knew where they stood in the 60s.
Yes,
now
sir.
Things are subliminal, from the media to TV. Hate is real.
Right. Yes, sir.
And that I don't really see it getting any better. I really don't.
No, sir.
I think I told you last week, I used to, I was challenged when I would get the Final Call magazine from the Powerhouse in Charlotte in the 1990s, 1999.
Mm-hmm.
And I would flip over the Final Call and I would look on that and I would say, wow, Elijah Muhammad, Mr. Farrakhan, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, they was asking for 5 states for us to go to a place of our own. And we bring all of our resources in there. And I remember the Minister Farrakhan said, we need our own schools, our own hospitals, our own banks, and the whole nine.
Yes, sir.
And now when I look at the numbers, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and last year, just throw this out there for free, we had 160,000 kids here going to school, the largest school districts in the country, in the state rather. But 11,000 black boys were suspended from school about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Those numbers are not decreasing, they're increasing. And only 2,200 was white males. So not only are they taking us out from trees, they're taking us out in the classrooms. And I think it's imperative that we do something about it. We have too many resources here. We got the Panthers player here. We got singers and Jodeci and Fantasia. And we got the Hornets. We got Michael Jordan here. I don't know why we still putting our boys back on the school bus. And it starts with our youth.
Yes,
because
sir.
Trey was not 65 years old.
Come on.
He was a college student, a freshman.
Right.
And we have to take that in consideration.
Absolutely.
And so for us, and we do not need to let his life die in vain. Yes, his funeral will be this weekend, but that memory will be stained in our brains for a very long time. That someone can be hanging from a tree at a college. And someone told me today it's not far from where Emmett Till was killed at. I think I heard that.
It's just a few miles from Money, Mississippi. It's not far. It's not far from Money, Mississippi at all.
Mm-hmm.
No, sir.
They told me that today. I did not know that.
Right. And a lot of people don't realize where Cleveland is in relationship to Money. That community down there and the press conference. And here's another thing I want your thoughts on, brother. It's interesting. I've been in law enforcement for 30 years, brother. And when I retire next year, it'll be 32. And I've done an investigation. I've done some very meticulous investigations myself. And I know that process. Now, where homicide or death is concerned, cities that have resources, states that are, that have the resources. Mississippi is the poorest state in the country. Still is. I find it very interesting, brother, that when it comes to us, when they find a death, particularly this kind of death, they can, within hours sometimes, and most times within a couple of days, come to a conclusion that there was no foul play. Even prior to the medical examiner's findings or the coroner's, the state investigative bureaus. I mean, it's like they draw their conclusion on the scene without any forensic data having been collected to determine the actual cause. They quick to put out that preliminary, and you see they preface it with that. What has been your thoughts on that, brother? And have you heard anything in terms of what the actual reality is?
No, I haven't. It's almost like I would love to be down there to work that case. The family has been somewhat silenced by the attorneys, not in particular Attorney Crump, but there's a female attorney that's representing the family.
Yeah, Vanessa Jones.
I would love to go down there and just do a fact-finding mission and get those answers for you. But
yes, sir.
It's tight-lipped,
yeah.
and they don't like to promote hate for some reason on the news. But as you see a few weeks ago, we just seen a man get shot in the neck. Yeah. And ironically enough, Charlie Kirk himself is from Mississippi.
Really? I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah, Mississippi as well. So I would say that it's just tight-lipped, and it's disturbing that enough information is not out there. And I told somebody, a few months ago, I said, something that we've never seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
One thing we've never seen. We've never seen, not that I'm endorsing it, or not that I want it to happen, of all the hangings in Mississippi, even Charles Muhammad, my brother down in Mississippi,
right?
Minister.
Yes, Muhammad, his son, Andre.
His son was hung inside of a jail in Mississippi a few decades ago.
Yes, sir.
And he wrote a book on hangings in Mississippi. He gave it to me. And there's over 100 hangings in there, all black men. But one thing that may shock a few people is that one thing we've not seen, brother, is a white woman hanging from a tree.
No.
And I believe that the day we see that, that's the day black folks are waking up.
Yeah.
The Bible says itself, eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. But that's one thing we haven't seen in America. There's a white woman hanging from a tree in a park. And not that it needs to happen, but I believe that the day that happens, that's the day we wake up. And I believe that I'm also not believe, but I'm disturbed by the fact that we're not angry enough. Brother Malcolm X had a quote, and I love this quote. He says, "There's a lot of angry Negroes in America, and I'm the angriest of them all." And that's how I feel when I wake up in the morning. I wake up like a gazelle, knowing that there's a lion out there trying to eat me alive.
Yes, sir.
So I wake up on point, making sure we respect the police and prayerfully they respect us. I wake up being on alert every day. And it's sad. I got to wake up in America like this. And I remember traveling to the Bahamas. I'm riding in a car. We on the other side of the road. And my sister, a black sister, was driving for us. And I was asking her, how many murders y'all got in here? She said 3. She said, why do you ask? She said, well, I said, I just wanted to know. I just want to know what your level of violence is here. She said, well, how many murders have you had in Charlotte? I said 105.
Wow.
She looked at me, and I never forgot that look in her eyes. She said, why are y'all killing each other? And out of 105, 89 was black on black. So not only are they hanging us from trees,
yes, sir,
but we're also, as you know, we're our own killer.
Yeah.
And things must end. And I think it's imperative we get back to God. That's why I adore the Nation of Islam, because one thing about you brothers that I see physically with my own eyes, that you all pray.
Yes, sir.
And that's needed even more in days like this.
Yes, sir. And that's what this podcast, that's really the objective, the 10K Fearless. We need some fearless men and women to go into our communities and call our young men and women away from the self-destructive behaviors, which is rooted in mentalities, which is really being fed to them. And we can't continue to be afraid of our children. And that brings me to, what role do you think fear is playing in the silence that we hear from down that way? Because I know you're down there a lot, and not only there, but when these kinds of things, what role do you think fear and intimidation plays?
I think it plays a big part. You know what? It's funny you said it, because when I look at the apartheid in South Africa, and there's millions, Stevie Wonder wrote a song about apartheid,
right?
And there's millions of blacks in Africa, but only 10,000 white folks was controlling them.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, wow, at least 20 or 30,000 black men could overthrow those 10,000 white folks. And so I'm almost thinking that, not thinking, I know that the number one way to eliminate someone from fighting is to initiate fear. All bullies ain't bad, as we've seen in the movie, portrayed in the movie Friday, where Debo was taking people's chain and roughing up Ice Cube and roughing up Chris Tucker. But one thing I realized is that in the end, he got hit upside the head with a brick.
Right.
But the fear in Ice Cube was eliminated.
Yes, sir.
He knew he had to stand up and fight. And I think once we begin to fight, once we begin to, in my analogy, throw a brick, that's when it fear leaves. But as long as we can keep fear in the blacks, keep fear in the slaves, then they'll never fight back.
Yes, sir.
And that's why, I'm not a big Michael Jordan fan, but he does have a quote that I love. His quote says, "Fear is an illusion to me." When he playing ball against what's his name, Larry Bird, and he's playing against Magic Johnson and all of the other great basketball players back then, his mindset was that fear is an illusion. It don't even exist.
That's right.
I think that's part of what made that brother so great.
Yes, sir.
Because he had no fear, no matter how big they was. He was going to shoot that 3-pointer or slam dunk over them. And so I think that's very important. So when I go to Meridian this Saturday, I don't have a lot of resources. I don't have lawyers for everybody that's coming. People calling me today saying, we need help. We need help. I need a lawyer. But if I don't provide all of that, one thing that I make sure I do at my justice rallies, it's called Never Again, is to make sure we break that fear in their mindset. And that's very important. So once we can break that fear, then they're ready to fight.
Yes, sir.
Then they'll be ready to stand up.
Yes.
So it's all about just changing their mindset and eliminating that fear.
Right. And brother, that's definitely true, because I remember leading up to 10/10/15, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said he wanted 10,000 fearless men and women to go into our community and get between the gangs and the guns. The media pounced on it and tried to accuse him of trying to gather 10,000 fearless men and women to kill all white people. Okay, 10,000 people going to do all that, right? That's not what he was calling for. But of course, during that time, the Honorable Louis Farrakhan asked them some serious questions in terms of, we try to seek redress to, instances and murders like this. I'm calling it a murder on the front end. I just don't, it makes no sense. It's too many inconsistencies. It's too, my eye tells me something is horribly wrong, and some impropriety appears to be going on somewhere. But the minister asked a question. When we seek redress and you don't give us justice, we go through the channels you tell us to go through. We do what you ask us to do. We be patient, but we never get the justice that we deserve. He asked, well, what are you trying to force us to do? And then he said, when, the killer gets to kill our people, like Dylan Roof, and go have a burger, and just go on with their life. And he was saying to us in words, it's not until when you take one of us that you lose one too, that, perhaps you would be willing to sit down. But it wasn't that the minister wanted to go to that. But he did ask the question. I mean, what does a people do, man? I'm talking specifically right now about down in Mississippi, man. And I've been in Mississippi like 6 years, and I can feel the fear people have down there, man, of local authority. I can feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Not only feel it, I can see it in their eyes.
Yes.
When we were fighting against the Goon Squad, And my anger strengthens me.
Uh-huh.
So when I went to Mississippi, I'm angry. You done shot this brother in his mouth. The bullet done came out his neck. His speech is slurred now. And I was trying to figure out where's the angry people at?
Yeah.
Because I think only when we suffer, and I don't know how much more we need to suffer. As I told you, I think I told you that again last week. We had a long conversation, brilliant conversation. People are still adoring and talking about your words to us. We talked for over 2 hours.
We talked that long?
Yes, we did. We talked for a while.
Yes, sir.
But we enjoyed every minute of it. Some of my church members was just in awe of your words, brother.
Oh, praise, brother. I got a good teacher in the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Let me say that quickly. I'm telling you.
Most definitely. But that anger has to come out.
I lost you again, brother.
Sorry.
Okay, there we go.
I think what happens is we have to eliminate that fear. And I think that because it's so deeply embedded in them, they see no way out. Yes. And so since they see no way out, they just live life very content. And some people just say this is just the way it is down here. But this is a new day. And I believe that the young generation is waking up.
Yes.
I use another analogy all the time, my brother, and I say it all the time. God gave this to me.
Uh-huh.
I say it all the time, and I've been saying it for almost a year, my brother. In 1965, the most feared man in the country was a white man, middle-aged white man.
Mm-hmm.
They were throwing rocks at Dr. King, but they also threw rocks at my daddy in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and my uncle. My uncle and my father, may he rest in peace, Brother Jerome Pendergrass, my uncle, and my dad, Mr. Willie Barnett, had said that they were walking home from school. They couldn't ride the bus. And they used to tell me that that there was a scar on my father's back. And I used to ask my grandmother, where did Daddy get that scar from? My grandmother said they were walking home from school, and they said that the school bus was coming, and they wouldn't allow them on the bus, and they threw one white man threw a stick out of the truck and hit my uncle in the back, and the other white man threw a bottle out, and it cracked my daddy's back, and that scar remained there.
Wow.
And that was a memory of what they experienced. Then my grandmother said, she said, if you think that's bad, she said, when we heard the school bus coming down the road, me and your aunt, my great aunt, may she rest in peace, Miss Magnolia Williams,
yes, sir,
said that they would jump in the ditch, my brother, because when they heard that school bus coming, they knew the white kids on the bus was going to throw rocks and sticks on there.
Yes.
And so those are my memories. So when I fight civil rights, I'm in Mississippi or Alabama, I'm in D.C. a month ago with Brother Malik Shabazz challenging Trump's tactics and profiling black people. I use all of those experiences and I use it for strength. And I incorporate and I sprinkle a little bit of anger in it in order to fight. Because I think only when we get mad, to me, I think more clearly when I'm angry.
Yes, sir.
My focus is to keep my eyes on the prize. But that fear, it has to be eliminated.
Yes,
and
sir.
All we can do is just keep inspiring, keep encouraging, and keep speaking to the people. And then showing them truth to power.
Yes,
when
sir.
Me and Brother Malik Shabazz went down there and got the goon squad locked up, but before we got there, they said, ain't nothing going to happen.
That's what they said.
Brother Kareem was with us. The LOC was with us. The Nation of Islam stood with us and spoke at our rally. But once we got them locked up, then they said, wow, we didn't know y'all could do that.
Yes, sir.
So little by little, people now are seeing we can fight back. And it's okay to be angry at times. Jesus got angry, my brother, and flipped over the tables.
That's right. He ran the money changers out of the temple.
That's correct. Anger is nothing. Anger is all in the Bible, my brother.
Oh, yeah, it definitely is. And to our Christian family that may be listening, our scripture, the Bible says God didn't give man the spirit of fear, but of peace. So who put fear in us?
That's right.
They started when we were babies.
That's
and
right.
the scripture also tells you that hatred, God loves, he hates. David hated his enemy, the Bible says, with a perfect hatred, meaning it wasn't just wild. It was an informed hatred. It's difficult to love a people that has proven for 470 years that they don't love you. So, brother, this thing about, well, we can't hate, and we got to forgive. No, you don't got to forgive. When you go and study the Bible, particularly Jesus, in the book of Luke, Jesus doesn't pray for his enemy. Go and look it up. Jesus said, I pray not for this world, but I pray for those that thou hast given me out of the world.
That's right.
So Jesus don't pray for the wicked. So where's this we are all God's children come from? When in the book of Luke, or John, I should say, 8th chapter, when Jesus called some people's devils, and he said, you are of your father, suggesting that they got a different father than him. So what is this? Who taught black folk that we were all God's children?
That's exactly right.
We're only a child of God if we do the works and behave like a child of God. Now, if we don't, then we can't claim kinship to the Creator. We have to claim kinship to the enemy of God. But don't get me started. Let me be quiet, man. But look, brother, we're almost at the top of the hour where we take a break. But I want to get into this press conference and that they had.
Okay.
And the cameras, and I know you do this kind of work. I do this kind of work, man. The thing about police crimes, now I listened at the campus police chief say in the press conference when he said that his name is Michael Peeler. He said there's camera footage out there, quote unquote. There's camera footage out there. But he said he couldn't speak on it at the time due to the ongoing investigation. But they've concluded, according to their conclusion, that there was no foul play. So would not the camera footage avail or allay any concerns? Why is there a hold on the camera footage? Have you heard anything? Brother Crump said anything to you about the imminent release, potential release, whether or not it even will be released, camera footage?
No, I haven't. On Saturday, I'm going to reach out to my brother. I'm blessed to have his cell number and office. Now he gave me his personal cell.
Very good.
I'm definitely going to be reaching out to him on Saturday morning before my rally to see if I can get more insight and to provide our services and assistance.
Yes, sir.
And I think they need to be very transparent in releasing that video. I just don't see a young man. I mean, I know that the mental state of our youth is increasing as far as depression and stuff of that nature. I know that he was in the school is predominantly white, I think, and he's a freshman, brand new. But the family said they know personally that they don't believe that he would do something like that to himself.
Yes, sir.
So I would say that those videos, and those are the demands that we do is for civil rights. I demanded a dash cam here in Charlotte, North Carolina, for a young black man that was shot 9 times in his chest, Jonathan Farrell. He wrecked his car at a white lady's, down the street from a white lady's house. He goes to the white lady's house and knocks on the door, and she thought he was trying to break in. She calls the police. He sees the police start running toward him, and they shoot. The white officer shoots him 9 times in his chest with no shoes on. He's running to the cop for help. Family later won $2 million, but the cop in court, I watched him. I listened to him. I looked in his eyes, and he looked at the jury, and he said he thought the black man was going to take his gun, and that's why he shot him 9 times in his chest. And the Farrell family, of course, won $2.5 million, $2.2 million, but no justice. The cop went home, and he was even able, my brother, he was able to get back pay because he hadn't worked in 3 years before the trial started. They had to pay him an estimated $175,000 for back pay. So he got $75,000 to shoot a black man in his chest 9 times. That is the reality of this world we live in this criminal justice system that we live in as well.
Yes. And brother, this it's getting sickening, bro. And I think that where we gotta begin to stem the tide of the self-destruction among us at the same time that we fight against these injustices. We got to be able to walk and chew gum. You know what I'm saying? And one of the main things that we're striving to do that in Mississippi as helpers and student of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan is going after our people. Our people have to be able to look at our problem. We looked at it through a political lens. We've looked at it through an economic lens, social. We look at it through all of the lenses. But I find it interesting, brother, that we never look at it through the lens of Scripture or in the light of Scripture. I got two of my colleagues in the ministry. They put together a book of scriptural references that speak to the plight of black people in light of biblical and Quranic scripture. Now, I say that and put this as a backdrop. Now, you know about COINTELPRO, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I was at a building power summit that's hosted. This was the 9th year. This past weekend, I was at a building power summit hosted by Brother Patrick Lumumba of Senatobia, Mississippi. Mississippi on the Move, and the Geronimo Pratt Gun Club, the NAACP, and the New Black Panther Party. They invited us to be a part, and they asked me to have words. And I reminded them, I said, brother and sister, we have to consider the counterintelligence program's denial objective of number 2. The first one was never allow a coalition of the nationalist element in America. Never allow that. They saw that as a true Mau if they could unite. And then the second, and I think the most important one, was they said to prevent the rise of a Messiah who could electrify and unite and electrify the black nationalist movement. Then I asked them, why would the United States government, this is on J. Edgar Hoover, why would he use scriptural language? He used Messiah in reference to black people. And then they listed potential messiahs. They thought Stokely Carmichael was potentially one. They thought Martin Luther King was one, but the reason they dismissed King was his complete devotion to liberal principles, or however they put it. This is documented. And the fifth denial objective was never allow to prevent the long-range growth of our movement, was find a way to keep us from converting the youth. Now, when you look at all of that, people may want to say, well, man, that was back in the 60s. That's dead. No, it's not. Because if you look at the evidence, look at the condition of our youth. And I'm saying that to say this, brother. I think we better take a real cold look at our plight in light of the sacred text, particularly the Bible, because that's the book that most of us are familiar with. And I would further suggest that we should look at it using the lens of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad as taught by the Honorable Louis Farrakhan, because that is the only black man among us that has said to us that we are the people of God's choice. And what we're experiencing right now is found in the sacred text. So I don't know what your thoughts are on that. You shared some of your thoughts on what's on the back page of the final call. And we're going to get to that again before we get out of here tonight. But before we go to break real quick, brother, I guess I'll go ahead and ask, what do you think about what I just said, particularly about the part with J. Edgar Hoover and their attempt to deny black people the things that's mentioned in COINTELPRO?
It's a part of the fear factor that you talked about earlier.
Yes, sir.
I tell people all the time, the biggest fear in America, as the Public Enemy displayed it on one of their albums called Fear of a Black Planet. The biggest fear in America is not that Oprah's going to make a lot of money or Shaq O'Neal's going to make a lot of money and they're going to build their own banks and no longer need the white establishments to fund them. The biggest fear in America, as it relates to the white man, is that one day we come together and we realize that the people that the descendants or the grandchildren, great-grandchildren of those that whipped us in our back, their parents, grandparents whipped us on our back, that one day black folks will come to a certain consciousness. They're going to come to an awakening that they realize that we are actually not only eating with the enemy, but we sleeping with the enemy. And the day that we wake up is going to be the biggest fear. And the way that those black people are going to wake up is through that Messiah. They understood historically what our history is. Throughout our culture, our history, from Shaka Zulu being a leader, from Tutu, to Dr. King, to Malcolm X and others, they always know that there's always one leader, and that one leader electrifies people.
Yes, sir.
And wakes the people up. And if you can wake them up to a certain level, then if you say make a right, they're going to make a right.
Uh-huh.
So in order to eliminate that, of them making a right or making a left, listening to that Messiah, and he be a black Messiah, is that they got to make sure they seek out those leaders like Dr. King and others, and Medgar Evers down in Mississippi. I visited the home of Medgar Evers, and I walked in the home, and I could hear a pin drop. You could hear a pin drop in the place. But what's even more troubling about that is that I said, wow, they shot this man in his driveway as he aspired to go inside the house and eat dinner with his family. And I heard that the mother, the wife, and the daughter came outside to help aid Brother Medgar Evers.
Mm-hmm.
But they have no doubt in their mind that Messiah, that person that can inspire them, that one day they're going to mobilize.
Yes.
If they mobilize strong enough, then they think that the same thing they did to us during slavery,
they think we're going to do it to them.
It's going to come back to them full blown.
Yes, sir.
And so to eliminate that, I've heard that about Malcolm X and Tupac Shakur.
Mm-hmm.
They said that they died not because they had a lot of money and resources, or they were assassinated or killed, not because they had a lot of money and resources. They killed them because they had the ability to electrify people.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
With Brother Tupac, with the young generations.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got on Facebook the other day and I talked about the fact that we are glamorizing YNs, and you know what YNs stand for?
Yeah, yes, sir.
The N word.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even like to say it, but we shouldn't be glamorizing that, because the more we glamorize it and talk about it, the more they're looking on the sideline watching us.
Yes, sir.
And so I think it's imperative that we don't just need one Messiah. We need a whole lot of Messiahs here.
Yes.
In this. And I'm glad that Minister Farrakhan has, I think for years, for decades, as I've listened to him, one thing that I've always learned from him is that he's fearless.
Yes, sir.
And we embrace him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be honest with you. My mentor is Al Sharpton.
Yes,
If
sir.
Al Sharpton, he just did a march in Washington, called for 1 million men to D.C., I don't think they'd come.
Yes, sir. That's
Jesse
true.
Jackson, in his mindset right now, prayers for my brother Jesse Jackson, my big brother, love him to death. But if he was to call for 1 million men in D.C., I don't think they would have came. If T.D. Jakes would have called 1 million men, I don't think they would have came.
Yes, sir.
We went to D.C. 1995, October 16th, because we understood that, and for lack of better words, that particular Messiah was not only going to give us a word that's going to inspire us all, but also he was going to give us the ability to be fearless.
That's right.
And that's where we are now. I'm fearless.
Yes, sir.
Because I have a lot of attributes of Minister Farrakhan, reading Malcolm X's book, and visiting Medgar Evers' home, and going to the King Center and visiting the hotel, of the Lorraine Hotel, where Dr. King was shot, in his jaw.
Mm-hmm.
So all of that has kind of created who I am today. All of them is responsible for how I speak today.
Yes,
when I speak, I mean what I say, and I say what I mean.
That's right.
And if they don't like it, so be it.
Yes, sir. Well, Brother John, man, we're going to take a quick break, man, and we're going to come back to the second half, man, and we're going to land this plane, man. Thank you for staying with us. So, brother, if you'd be so kind, just stand by, and I'm gonna mute your mic for right now, and we'll be right back, y'all, after these commercial announcements.
Insult to injury, but Masons work hard, so you don't know what they did to me. In school you don't learn history, you learn his story. That's why you don't know Farrakhan, but Angelina Jolie. You see these people as holy, cause they told you we were not. Now supreme and the meaning, showing the dream, but you forgot. And I know they want us quiet because the truth has been told, but I stand on my word and my posture is bold. This is the voice of the youth while speaking to another, my brother in spirit who came from another mother. I'm from South, but I can feel a brother's pain in North. I'm from Peckham, but he's still my brother who came from North. So why would I want him dead because of his whereabouts? Cause I know I never chose to live anywhere in South. This is the anthem for the lost and the found living. Emancipate yourself from the 666 prison. Emancipate yourself from the shackles of the beast. Supremo and the mean, greeting you in peace. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum salam. I come in peace. I don't mean.
Shake's famous seasonings, flavors for every occasion. Want to add a touch of authentic flavor to any dish? Searching for a unique range of seasonings that always put great taste on the menu? Welcome to Shake's Famous Seasonings. Whether you're a professional chef, passionate home cook, or a complete beginner in the kitchen, taste and flavor should always be on the menu. It's why Master Chef Rashid Muhammad has combined more than 30 years in the kitchen with a passion for mouth-watering flavors to create a range of seasonings unlike any other. Always gluten-free, so you can enjoy great taste exactly how nature intended. Versatile flavors that work with fresh fish, chicken, or vegetables from the very first bite. Authentic cooking experience that adds something special to any occasion. Versatile seasonings that are perfect for baking, frying, grilling, and plenty of tasting. Ready for real authentic flavor? When it's time to see just how delicious seasoned foods can be, why wait? With the click of a button, you can have 30 years of passion for food sent direct to your door. Just what you need to add flavors to every occasion and create meals that you'll always want to eat twice.
Place your order at sfseasonings.com. That's sfseasonings.com.
Taste the difference. Taste Supreme. Enjoy our 100% natural Supreme spring water with natural calcium and magnesium, but zero fluoride and zero chloride. Our bottles are BPA free. Order yours today. Call us at 800-573-8033. That's 800-573-8033. Or visit us online at www.supremespringwater.com. Live supreme. Be supreme. Drink supreme. Supreme Spring Water. 801 Joseph E. Boone Boulevard, Northwest, Atlanta, Georgia, 30314.
Worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Download the Final Call Radio app and take us everywhere. On your phone, on your computer, on your tablet, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You can also log on to finalcall.com and click the Listen Live button or finalcallradio.com. Final Call Radio, the official voice of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Nation of Islam.
What's your source for truth in news reporting?
Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Where do you turn for non-corporate driven news that's fair and balanced?
No shoot. No shoot. No shoot.
Subscribe to the Final Call News, your #1 free and independent news source that delivers hard-hitting national and international news coverage of today's political, economic, and social issues. To subscribe to local home delivery, call us at area code 662-252-8999. That's 662-252-8999. Visit our website at www.finalcall.com.
The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique. At Urban Indulgence, we pride ourselves on offering quality, effective skincare. Handcrafted with plant-based, skin-loving ingredients, our soaps and body butters will give you luxurious lather and ultimate moisture. Experience the Urban Indulgence at 3314 Poplar Avenue in Memphis, 3 blocks west of Poplar Plaza, or shop with us online at theurbanindulgence.com. theurbanindulgence.com.
10,000 fearless on the move.
And we're back live here at the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. The Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique is now located at 6075 Winchester Avenue here in the city of Memphis, inside of the Hickory Ridge Mall. Make sure you go through there and grab you something. They're open Thursday through Saturday from 11 a.m. till 5 p.m. and Saturdays from 12 noon to 4 p.m. So we also have a location that's open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Sunday, every day of the week. You can go inside of the Painted Tree at 8045 Giacosa Plaza, out near Wolf Chase Galleria here in Memphis. Of course, you can order online and we ship anywhere in the country. We also have a location inside of the Painted Tree, just outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and Mason, Tennessee. So you can go to the Painted Tree there. You can also get Urban Indulgence Bath and Body Boutique products there as well. Also, remember, subscribe to that Final Call, Holly Springs and Marshall County. We need at least 1,000 of you to receive it every week. Just $2 a week. Okay? Just spend $2 at the Final Call newspaper. Support the Final Call. If you want it delivered to your door, give us a call at area code 662-252-8999. Please support the 10K Fearless Tri-State Podcast. Give us an email at dremuhammad1 at gmail.com. That's Dre, DREMUHAMMAD, 1 at gmail.com. Or you can give us a write or write us, drop us a line at 10K Fearless, Post Office Box 517, Holly Springs, Mississippi, 38635. Want you to come by 165 Memphis Street at our local mosque and study group there. You can get you that supreme bean pie for a donation. Come by and get you a good slice or one of those whole pies, supreme bean pie, all the way from Chicago, Illinois, our bakery there in Chicago. We make them available right there in North Mississippi, okay? Come by 165 North Memphis Street there. Also, I want to give, before we get back to Brother John, I saw my sister Tasha Parker is on. Shout out to you, Sister Tasha. She is one of those fighters down there in the Delta. She don't back up. But I I pulled it up, made real big so I can see it. My sister says she's mad as HE double hockey sticks. Y'all know what that spell, right? That Mississippi has a brother serving 26 years, 2 20-year sentences in the state and fed. And for the same crime, 26 years in state, 2 20-year sentences for the state and 26 years in the Fed for the same crime. She said the arresting officer had just been suspended for showing up to court or work with his Klan robe on. Woo. Dang, Sister Tasha, that way it went down? She said the judge went to his school hearing at Mississippi State to say he vowed to make sure this man spend the rest of his life in prison. He made good on his promise, I guess. He said she says, finally, the Mississippi justice system is severely flawed. So in Cleveland, I pray that it was no cover-up, but it can be. That was from our sister Tasha. And this is the kind of stuff, brothers and sisters, that we can sit in silence all we want, but God has a destiny for us. And it is my responsibility, as many of us as the students and helpers of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, to bring our people into the consciousness of really who we are, okay? So I want to share that with you from our sister. So let's get back to our Brother John C. I'm sure he's still there, Brother John. There he is. All right, my brother, thank you for holding on, man. We're back at it. And we applaud you and your work, brother. And thank you once again for being with us. We only got about 10 minutes left in tonight's program that we're going to deal with. But, brother, I want to, in your work that you do, I want to get on with you now, brother. The work that you do, the patterns, what patterns do you see from the local authorities, man, in terms of, people, it's one thing to say that there's been a cover up, but you being a part of getting the goon squad properly dealt with, share with us some of the things that you just saw that stick out that our people really need to know about how these little smaller jurisdictions work to cover stuff up.
Well, I tell people all the time that some of the smallest cities in this country have the biggest problems. We didn't know about Sanford, Florida until Trayvon Martin was shot center mass in his heart. We didn't know about Ferguson until Michael Brown was shot 5 times, one in his eyeball. And so I found out that some of the smallest cities in this country, not only are they small, but some of them can be some of the most deadliest cities in our country. And I would say that in small cities, what I've realized as it relates to a pattern is that it's controlled. See, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, and 49% of the people here that live here is black. But Sanford, Florida, numbers didn't look like that. Probably less than 8% black. Trayvon Martin lived in a very nice neighborhood with his father.
Yes, sir.
Ferguson, same problem. And so when you find small cities, you not only find small cities to be some of the worst cities in this country, but the most controlled. Family, the chief of police, father was the chief of police. The
Yes.
judge's son is now a lawyer. So it's like a mom and pop type mindset in some of these small cities. And what happens is in these small cities that very, very, if not, it's almost non-existent. The NAACP, I'm a proud member of the NAACP. In some of these small cities, the NAACP is not there. Nation of Islam ain't there. Our organization is not there.
Yeah.
So those people in those small cities, they suffer.
Yeah.
And they suffer because they don't have resources. So my job as an activist, as it relates to what I'm doing in Mississippi, is providing lawyers. I've provided over almost close to 10 people with access to attorneys.
Man.
You know, I tell people, if you got an issue legally, then you need a lawyer. If you got a toothache, you call a dentist. If you're sick, you call a doctor. If you need prayer, you call a pastor.
Yeah.
And so I think that one of the most common patterns is that they're controlled, especially the small cities.
Yes,
So
sir.
much that they can say, we got a video, but we're not going to release it.
Right.
We got proof, but not going to share it with the public yet. And I think it's imperative that cities such as Ferguson and Sanford and down at Delta University is that they become transparent, because grandma can't sleep at night knowing that somebody's been hanging from a tree,
Right.
and we ain't got no answers.
Yeah. Yeah. So, brother, also another problem is that I see literacy in a lot of places, brother. Many of our people just don't know what to do. Is that what you're seeing as well?
Yeah, absolutely. South Carolina. I was born in South Carolina. South Carolina may be number 48 or 47 with the worst education system. South Carolina doesn't have any sports and entertainment. Sports and entertainment. I'm in Charlotte. We got the Bobcats. We got the Hornets. Money is in this city, and diversity.
Right.
But in South Carolina, they don't have no NFL team. In South Carolina, they don't have no NBA team. And I hate to go there with sports, but those type of entities, they bring money into the city. So South Carolina, I'll tell people all the time, there's only 2 checks that's cut in South Carolina. One check is the lottery, because they play that excessively. And the other check is for keeping black men in prison. That's the check. The check is for, the pipeline to prison.
Right.
It's real in South Carolina. 27,000 inmates, 17,000 black.
Right.
North Carolina, 31,000 inmates, 19,000 black. Louisiana's number 1 with the most black men in jail, 69%. An alarming 69%. I think Master P's brother down there, C. Murder, he's been in jail for probably 2 decades, maybe 3. And so the biggest challenge is as far as the literacy is that, yeah, you're right. They don't know that they can, 69% of black men, and I'm throwing a lot of numbers out there to you, 69% of black men that had a public defender either lost or took a plea bargain.
Yeah.
So what that tells me, out of 100 black men, 70 of them took a plea, and then a large percentage of those numbers, they're innocent. But because they said, look here, if you fight this thing, you're going to get 20 years in prison.
Wow.
But if you take this plea, brother, we're going to give you 6 years. And I tell people all the time, you ain't got to go to prison but one day. And you know what you're going to have when you leave on that next day? You're going to have a felon.
Yeah, a felon.
And that felon is going to eliminate you to not be a state trooper, an officer like you.
Yeah.
Right? You're not going to be able to work at the post office. You're not going to work at FedEx, And that alone just disables and handicaps black men.
Yes,
So
sir.
then we find that recidivism going on, where if they can't find a job because of that felon, they result to going right back to prison.
Yes,
48% of black men in prison that get out, they go right back.
Yeah. It's designed that way, brother. It is definitely designed. This stuff is by design. And that brings me, brother, to something that I want to go back to that you alluded to in terms of what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has said the solution to our problem is. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad write these words in Message to the Black Man in America. A great book. You can come by 165 North Memphis Street. If you're North Mississippi, we can get you a copy. Come on by for a small donation, okay? Because we got to keep the lights on. We got to keep the movement going, okay? Which is not a movement. It's far more than that, but I'll explain that. If you come visit us one Sunday, 10 o'clock a.m., with the help of Almighty God, we'll certainly do the best we can to share that information with you. But he wrote, quote, what Allah said to him. His teacher, Master W. Fard Muhammad, he further said that There is no way of getting along with the white race in peace. They have been found by the scientists of Islam to be disagreeable to live with in peace, end quote. And he said, and the solution to this now 470-year-old, no, he didn't say this is me writing. And the solution to this now 470-year-old problem, according to the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, can be found on the back page of the Final Call newspaper. And that is complete separation. What do you think about that, particularly in light of these hangings, continued hangings, and the recent threats on HBCUs in the wake of the environment that's happening today? And what do you think about separation, brother?
Well, Brother Khalid Muhammad said it best on Donahue. He said he tried to separate, I think the words Hitler from all other white folks. But he had said it best. He said that there's a whole lot of racism and a whole lot of white folks. And so when saying that, just your comment alone on that, it lets me know, and I live it every day, that it's obvious that nowhere on the face of the planet where the white man exists, that there's peace.
That's their history.
You can go to the Congo, you can go to South Africa, you can go to Germany, wherever you go. If they there, it's gonna be some drama, brother.
Yeah, that's fact.
And that's a guaranteed fact. And so that nowhere on the face of the planet can you escape that type of mindset. Their arrogance, their dirty deeds, and I love what Minister Farrakhan said at the Million Man March. He said that he told white America, he said that you really are not the majority. You're only the majority in America, but you are a minority in the world.
That's right. We outnumber them 11-1.
China, our Islamic brothers in the Middle East, the Africans, they are the minority in this world.
Yes.
And because they know their time is running out, and because they understand, they push. What is it? They push. I call it, genocide. Where the average white woman, Brother Rockman had shared this with me. He had said that let's be honest, the average white woman can only produce 1.8 babies.
Yeah.
The average black woman can produce almost 4.5 babies.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yes,
The
sir.
Hispanics probably can produce more than black women.
Yeah, they're closer to 5.
That's correct. So they know that their race is dying. It's almost like they know that there's a urgent need to save their race. That's why the Klan say no race mixing.
Yeah.
No race mixing. They keep saying that. They
Dr.
know that
Welsing said
one
it.
drop
Brother.
of black blood, shout out to President Barack Obama, one drop of black blood is going to totally annihilate their entire race.
Yes, sir.
It totally annihilates their race. Just one drop of black blood. So it's imperative that they do everything they can to take us out so we can catch up to their numbers of leaving here. And be it black on black crime, be it drugs, be it crack cocaine epidemic in the 90s, whatever they can do to take us out, they are. And you know what? They don't take no breaks. They don't take no breaks. They working overnight to try to figure out what kind of drug can we pump into the black community.
Yes, sir.
I have never used drugs in my life, brother. Not even weed. And I'm going by in the black neighborhood. I'm looking at all these smoke shops. And these
We just got one in Holly Springs, brother, right up the street from our mosque.
That's correct. And you told me about one. The word you used the other night is it crayon or something like that?
Kratom.
Kratom.
Kratom and
cot. I highlighted tonight before the show, and you had talked about it last week in Charlotte. I seen a store tonight that had that highlighted, illuminated in green letters. And so they doing whatever they can to take us out little by little.
Yes, sir. But Brother John, what you said about wherever the Caucasian people are in the world, there's trouble. That's true of their history. And this is not, when we say these things and when we make these observations, they're just a matter of fact. And it's interesting that your Bible says in Revelation, one of the horses of the apocalypse, it says, and I saw as it was, John the Revelator talking. He said, I saw as it was a pale horse, and death was its rider. And it sums up saying in words, and everywhere that death rode this pale horse, hell followed closely behind. And And history has said to us, and Ambulus Farrakhan teaches us, he said, the thing that rides, or this pale horse, represents the Caucasian race. And the things that rides them is the bent of their mind. White supremacy. They think that because they're white, they're better. And everywhere they go with that mentality, hell follows them closely behind.
That's right.
That's a fact. So that's why I'm saying, brother, we have to look at what's happening today in light of Scripture and the clearest explanation that I think that we can get is from what the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad has taught, being explained and expounded upon by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And there's going to be people that disagree with that. That's fine, but you can't dismiss it, because the interesting thing about all of this to me, brother, is they call Honorable Louis Farrakhan a whole lot of things. Anti-Semitic, anti-American, anti-white, anti-government, misogynist, a whole lot of stuff. But the one thing that they never call him is a liar. And another thing that they never do, they never challenge him theologically. They just ignore him and sit back and call him names. So, but brother, look, man, the time is spent. Any parting remarks, Brother John, before we get out of here?
Yeah, just shout out to Sister Tasha Parker. I have a lot of other Facebook friends on here. Sister Sabrina.
Yes.
Brother GX. Salam alaikum, my brother. He said he loves this show.
I'm going to have to get Sister Tasha on here. I know she got a lot to tell us what's going on down her way.
Yeah, you got to put her on the show. That's a fearless sister. Love her to death. I admire her courage. She's the president of the NWCP in Mississippi.
Right.
And just a good-hearted sister. From the first day I met her, from a smile to her heart, she's good people.
Yes, sir. I met her through Brother Kareem.
Yeah,
so,
I'm glad she's on.
Yes, sir. Well, my brother, look, we certainly greatly appreciate you coming on, and this certainly won't be your last time. This platform is open to brothers like yourself, man, and to keep our people informed. And we have to have our own outlets, and we have to have a means by which to control the narrative of what's going on with us, instead of depending upon CNN and all of the others that we know. There ain't no fairness in their news, especially when it comes to us. So outlets like the Final Call newspaper, brothers and sisters, subscribe to the Final Call newspaper. We're not corporate driven. We don't depend on corporate money, so we can tell the truth and not care about what anybody thinks about it. So with that, Brother John, look, man, thank you again. Let's give him an applause.
Okay. Thank you.
Till next time, brother. Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah, and for those brothers and sisters out there, my brother that want to contact us for
yes, please do.
17 states. Want to make sure I give everyone our number as well.
Go right ahead.
Our phone number is 803-412-6854. Again, 803-412-6854. We're on Instagram under Civil Rights _CEO. And of course, we're on Facebook as well, John C. Barnett III. Make sure you just reach out to us. Someone just texted me just now. And I have this flyer that says, if you need assistance, just text us. And someone just texted me about 3 seconds ago and said, I need civil rights assistance. So I will tell you that I love my job, but it's very demanding. But every day I wake up, I never know what city I'm going to. I never know who's going to call, what mother's going to call me, or whether it's a brother's suffering in prison, or whether the son has shot someone. But it's never a dull moment. But I will tell you, we're blessed to get about 50 calls a week. But I'm blessed a little bit more than, I guess I would say, Brother Ben Crump is blessed even more.
Yes.
Brother Ben Crump receives over 500 calls a day.
Woo.
And that doesn't let you know that something's going on. Brother Ben Crump has a call center. I would call it a call center. Where every time you call the Ben Crump's law office, he has about 3 or 4 people that answer phones around the clock. My brother Al Sharpton receives about 150, 200 calls a week. Brother Malik told me he receives about 80 a week, and I'm receiving 40 a week. But Ben Crump receives not 500 a week, 500 a day from 6 a.m. in the morning. People calling him from Cincinnati, Compton, Detroit, Oklahoma, Africa.
Yeah.
They are calling for that brother, and he can't be everywhere. And I remember putting Reverend Sharpton, as I close, on the plane in Charlotte. He came here and spoke for us. And he had my mother's sweet potato pie in his hand. And I said, Reverend Sharpton, we need about 100 of you, man, because when you leave here, I'm sure something's going to happen tomorrow. And he turned around and looked at me and he said, brother, we need 100 Al Sharpton and 100 Jesse Jackson. That's
Yes,
how
sir.
bad it is out here.
Yes, sir.
So I just thank you for your show. I can't wait for you to drop the link so I can
Yes,
send it
sir.
to my mother and all of
Okay.
my friends, followers, and the whole nine. We blessed to have about 40,000 followers on Facebook.
Yes,
But I
sir.
really appreciate your show. Really appreciate your words. I'm definitely going to do another Zoom call with you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sisters and the brothers that I talked to the other week, my Black Panther brother Kevin,
Mhm.
they needed more of that, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, brother. I get it all from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And I'm telling you right now, in addition to those 100 Al's and 100 Jesse, we need about 10,000 Farrakhans running around here. And we're in the process. I'm trying to be like my leader, my teacher, and guide. And I'm not ashamed to say it at all. That's what I'm striving for, because he's the closest thing to a Jesus that I've ever seen. That's me talking now, y'all. Don't get mad at me. That's my view, because, I mean, that brother has done his work and he has a right to be silent, right? You notice how silent he is? He's following some instructions. And if you want to know more about that, I say tune in, go to noi.org and go to our video platform and listen at his latest Savior's Day address, his last one from 2024. You'll know what I'm talking about. So, Brother John, man, once again, thank you so much, brother. And we need more brothers like you. And I say to the audience, get that phone number. Get that number again, Brother John, on how to contact you.
I'm sure our phone number is 803-412-6854. Because of the increase of civil rights issues in this country, we've actually enhanced it. So our text messaging is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yes. Give him a call, and some of y'all get in and help, brother. You know, a man moving around like that, he needs some support. So make sure you support him. So, Brother John, till next time, brother, God bless, be safe, and give us a shout, brother, if you need our help. All right? Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam, my brother.
Yes, and we certainly thank God for Brother John. Brothers and sisters, it's been a well-spent hour and a half. We are prayerful that something was shared with you to inspire us to action. And Sister Tasha, I'm not playing, sister. I'm going to have to get you on here because you're one of them fighters down there in the Delta as well. I'm going to reach out to you, God willing, and in the coming episodes, we want to give you the platform, sister, so you can inform us what's going on. We need to connect and build a network throughout the state of Mississippi. In particular, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan loves Mississippi more than any of the 50 states in the United States of America. He has said that on several occasions. So I think we should give that some consideration. What is it about Mississippi? Mississippi is special. So, brothers and sisters, as we land tonight's plane, thank you for tuning in. And I want to leave you with words from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, wherein he says to us, quote, "No one can attempt to help our people do anything productive and constructive without feeling personal hurt, pain, loss, being evil spoken of, falsely accused, sometimes beaten, sent to prison, or even put to death." He says, this is the path of Jesus. This is the path of Muhammad. And this is the path of every sincere person who wants to see his or her people delivered from our present condition, end quote. Always remember, brothers and sisters, that we must begin with self. We must look in the mirror first before we look outward. That is because, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan teaches us, that self-improvement is the basis for community development. And until next time, please allow us to leave you with the greeting words of peace, of assalamu alaikum, or peace be unto you.
Gotta make a move and take control. Have something we can call our own. So shine your light, help the people see that now is the time for us to be free. And if you waiting on the pie in the sky, you better wake up fast. They told you a lie, cause big fields are waiting wide awake, man. Elijah's got the master.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. Mississippi. 10K fearless on the move. Mississippi. Sip. Injustice we've had enough. All of our divisions we're breaking up. Destiny has been calling us. The spirit of the Most High is guiding us.
See the time is now. What you waiting on? Quit shooting your brothers. Put your gun down. Come on. They got a cage waiting for you if you keep that up. Early graves coming to you. From that, can't raise you up. Now Sister Ida B and Fannie Lou, check them out and you'll know what to do. But if you really want your enemy to be alarmed, read the final call. Follow Farrakhan.
10,000 fearless on the move. 10K fearless. This is it. 10K fearless on the move. This is it. Sip.